Yeah, just give it a minute. When it won't, since we switched to streaming on YouTube, it takes a minute to load usually.
Are we on YouTube now, not Facebook?
We're posting to Facebook after we. It's like complicated.
Gotcha. Say less. All right.
Okay.
Right.
Now let me share the screen.
All right.
And there we go.
Thank you. Thank you. We have both our co-counsels here also. Thank you, Nkechi, Brad. Nice to see you.
Good to be here.
Okay. All right. It's loading right now?
You don't see it?
No.
That's weird. Because it says I'm screen sharing, so it should. Let me.
Yeah, okay,
I see it.
We all saw it. Well,
I'm just gonna I'm gonna reshare. Everybody see it now?
Yes, I see it.
Mr. Chairman, would you like me to address this first item, 3.1?
That would be excellent. Thank you. I keep muting myself for some reason. Thank you, please.
Sure. So this is the DTOD zoning that was adopted by the city council, I believe back in March. So the final finding statement and the zoning was simply just sent out to all the different agencies. So this was just administratively just passing it along to the city, to the planning board for your information. I know that the applicant is now working on a site plan application. There've been some back and forth with the planning department, and they expect to submit shortly and then begin the site plan application process before your planning board. So this is not urgent or time sensitive, but at some point it would be good if you familiarize yourself with the findings and with the new zoning that was adopted. So when it comes before you on the site plan, the planning board will be ready to hit the ground running on the review.
Okay. All right. So hold on one second.
There's nothing for you to do at the moment.
There's nothing for us to do in regards to this at this time.
It's been adopted by the city council, falls on the applicant's court to submit a site plan application. At that point, you'll then process the application.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. I just want to back up just for 1 second in regards to minutes. Were the minutes sent out? Because I don't recall seeing them.
No, Chair Celsi, they were not. I haven't finished them yet. It's been a little chaotic over here with one monitor and. No.
Okay. All right. So we will have them tomorrow, or should we need to just table it?
I think we should table them until June.
Until June. Okay. That's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Now, if we can move to the next item.
So I'll take this one again.
Thank you.
This is a referral from the city council to the planning board for a report and recommendation on proposed zoning to allow indoor amusement uses in certain districts. This was, I know, initiated through the planning department. We helped prepare the legislation. The council has reviewed it, referred it, I'm sorry, to your board. And now the next step for your board is simply to review the proposed language and issue your report recommendations back to the city council. The idea generally is that there's some vacant spaces that may benefit from this use being permitted. There's been some inquiries by interested parties. And one aspect of the law that I want to call your attention to is that the parking is left really to the planning board's discretion to consider it on a case-by-case basis rather than locking the board into any kind of fixed formula, because the amusement could take on one use or a mix of uses. So there's some flexibility to the planning board to determine parking, again, on an application-by-application basis.
Okay. So in terms of some of the I guess some of the ideas may be similar to, and I can't think of what the name of the place in Ridge Hill, like that little sky,
The
whatever.
sky, yeah, the sky dive, there's trampoline, there could be
Sky, right.
go-karting, yeah.
Right, okay, all right, okay.
I'm sorry, Chairman, what areas are you talking about for districting this particular activity? Is this going to be done in the large parking lots, or we have land that's available that's going to accommodate these particular large activities for the children?
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes, yes, please, thank you, Lucas.
So this is the most immediate use of this new zoning will likely be for the vacant Bed Bath and Beyond space on Sanford Boulevard.
Thank you.
He has spoken with a company called Fun City. They have a trampoline park type thing in Syracuse, and they're looking at renting the space. So we're writing the zoning to accommodate them. But then also there might be future uses that might be interested in some of, because we do have a lot of larger industrial buildings that might at some point become something different. That's all.
Okay, so this is indoor. Thank you so much
It'll
for
be
sharing.
indoor,
I
yes.
do-
Indoor.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
Is it possible to get a list of the other potential spaces where, you know, where these types of developments may be?
So that's a pretty deep dive, and I'm not sure we would catch it all because an indoor amusement use could be anything from like a virtual reality booth, which you can do in a small storefront, to a go-kart track where you would need like a massive building. So really this legislation is intended to allow different types of amusement uses to fit into different size spaces as long as they're in the commercial, business, landscaped, industrial, and industrial zoning districts.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Sure.
Last question. Will this be managed by the city, or is this a private entity that will be overseeing the level of security and safetiness of these particular rides, so forth and so on?
It would be private and no one could operate without coming to your board for a site plan. This is just putting the zoning in place. So
Okay.
Vivian, every application with lighting, security, safety, you know, all the traffic, parking, all the typical site plan elements would need to be reviewed on again, as each application comes in. Lucas mentioned one potential site, there may be others. So this is zoning that's drafted more broadly. Anyone who fits the criteria could avail, and then it comes before your board for site plan.
Thank you for
It's a
sharing.
special permit approval.
I just wanted to have a
And
better
special permit.
clarification of what this was going to be forthcoming. Thank you.
Just real quick, I know this isn't a potential amendment. Will they show the current guidelines so we can see what the amendment would be in regards to, or
Right.
This is introducing a new special permit use in these districts, so it's not amending or tweaking existing language. It's
Gotcha.
introducing it. Okay.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Sorry.
Okay. All right, so let's go to 3.3, which is the concept plan presentation for proposed developments. Lucas, you want to talk about this because you're going to present this?
Sure. So, over the last month or two, we've been meeting with different developers, who come in and they have ideas about, what they might like to apply to the planning board to do. And in this case, we met with kind of like a development team. They are kind of working together on 3 different parcels, 3 different properties. So they came in, they met with our staff. We talked with them. We looked at their plans. And then they asked if we would be willing to do the concept plan presentation to your board, just for your initial thoughts. Neither of these 3 applications have been fully submitted yet. So the idea is to get your feedback and then see if they're on the right track, see if they're on the wrong track. They want to get your feedback first.
Okay, and you'll do the presentation for it.
Right. I'm going to do the presentation kind of just like how I did it when I worked for the county planning board. I just kind of like just the facts presentation,
Yep.
what it is. This is what the zoning says. there you go. And then you can discuss and ask questions after.
Okay. Very good. Any questions?
Not at this time.
Yeah, okay. All right, so continuation of public hearing 4.1. This is 896 South Columbus Avenue. I think I hope that the public realizes now where this property is located, because I think it was a little confusing during the presentation where everybody thought it was the Salvation Army building. So hopefully tomorrow it'll be clear. I've taken some pictures just to make sure that everybody has a clear understanding where this is also. I think that we kind of understand that this is not a traditional storage facility. This is really, for the moving company itself, kind of to house various moves, whether it's an incoming move or one that's going out, probably for a period of, 30 days to 3 months or somewhere in that period of time. But it's just for this moving company. It's not open to the public.
Right.
All right. So, Mr. White's, Commissioner White's.
Yes.
Yes. So this is not your storage facility like we've seen, come before us. This is actually a moving company that would be, so if you were moving your house, the contents of your house, and it needed to be held, for a particular period of time, they would, come pick everything up, store it in their facility. And then when maybe if you had a new construction or something and it's ready, to be delivered, then they would come and they would, pack it, put everything back in the trucks and then bring it, to, wherever you, move to. That type of a scenario.
Yeah. That's fine. I've was aware of the background. So
Okay.
I mean, it's in my mind, it's still a storage facility nonetheless. I don't know if Mount Vernon is becoming the moving capital of the world, but it is what it is.
Right. Well, I was just, pointing that out more so in terms of also that it's not something where it's, it's open to the public. It's the employees that, are there unloading, and loading whatever trucks. It's not some place where you could just go and retrieve anything. So,
Yeah.
so in terms of the number of, drop-offs and pickups and things of that nature, it's a little, I guess, less busy than a traditional storage facility where you have people coming and going all the time.
Okay.
So
I
it's
got
kind of like a transfer station for themselves, right?
Correct. Okay. Any other questions on this until we move to the next item? Okay. Again, the continuation of the public hearing, 140 East Prospect Avenue, which is in the TOD 1 zoning district for Mount Vernon East. There were a bunch of questions, comments that were given to the applicant and their professionals to address and come back with. And if we could, Brad, do you want to kind of pick up on this, or Nkechi pick up on this?
Sure, I'm happy to, Mr. Chairman. So the applicant did submit on April 30th response to the planning board's comments. Hopefully you'll either have a chance to review them or have it ready before tomorrow night. We did refer these to the city's outside planning consultant, Pat Cleary. I expect to get some comments back from him sometime tomorrow morning, and I'll share that with the board and potentially the applicant before tomorrow evening. So there may just be some follow-up comments depending upon the review. but there is information that was submitted in response. There was also, I believe, from the DPW and the fire department, 2 memos that were issued. And the applicant just today submitted a response to those comments, which frankly, I've not had a chance to take a look at yet, but you should have all received it, or if not, I'll happy to send it to everyone after this meeting. Take a look before tomorrow night, but the applicant again responded to the comments from DPW and fire.
Okay, great. So if everyone has not had the opportunity, please, take the time between today and tomorrow to review the communication. So if you have, any
Follow up.
additional questions or follow-up, we'll be prepared. All right. I'm going to ask Nkechi, is there anything that you wanted to add at all?
Nothing to add, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Marie, have you sent that, the letter that was submitted today, has that been distributed?
No, I think it was only sent to Chair Celsey, but I do have it and I will send it out to
You'll send,
everyone.
there's one between you, and me, I just
Right.
wanted to make clear. Okay, so you'll send that around. Great.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Maria, also, there was another email I sent to Chair Celsi as well earlier today.
Okay.
That should also.
We'll make sure everything gets to the planning
Okay,
board.
cool. Thanks.
Lucas, on this application or something different?
It was a county planning board letter for the next, for
Excellent, okay,
230,
Right.
230 East Sanford.
Right.
We'll get to that later.
Okay. All right. All right.
Mr. Chairman, if that's all on this one, then I'll sign off. I don't think there's anything
Yep.
else on the agenda for me, so I'll see you all tomorrow evening.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Have a
take care.
good
Bye.
evening. All right,
You too.
bye, Ray. Okay, if we could move to the next item on the agenda, please. Okay, now this was the application that was adjourned from the agenda last time. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes, that's correct.
okay. All right. Can you just bring us up to speed on this one here? Everything was noticed properly for all the applications?
Yes, everything was noticed properly. The issue was, the discussion among the owner, the architect and the attorney. So there were some things they wanted to sort out. So they're all ready. The attorney will not be at the meeting tomorrow, but Mr. McIntosh, who's the architect, and Mr. Orkayam Tam will be at the meeting.
Okay. All right. And
And I can talk about what else is going on with this. This was previously reviewed by the ZBA and granted variances. It's requesting a site plan approval to construct a 5.5-story mixed-use building, along with 24 proposed parking spaces to be contained in lifts on one of the 2 proposed development lots. There was some discussion we had internally regarding the unit mix for this application, just noting that only 2 2-bedroom units were, I think, out of I think it was 21 were currently proposed for the development. The commissioner sort of expressed interest in there being more units than simply 2. For
okay,
the 2 bedrooms, because the unit mixes, they have a lot of studios, they have a lot of 1-bedrooms, they only have 2 2-bedrooms proposed.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So was that changed, or that's what it is now?
That's what it is now. Yeah.
Okay.
That is the application as it currently exists.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me. What's the breakdown of the 1-bedroom and studios? Do
Well,
you
let
have-
me pull. I got it right here, so just let me pull it up.
Thank you.
One second. Okay, the current unit mix is like there's sorry, I'm not sure I have a So the current mix is 6 studios for, 6 studios. Uh, uh, 11, yeah, 13 1-bedrooms and 2 2-bedrooms, I think. Yeah, I did, the way I wrote it in the memo didn't like fully break it down, but it's on the calculation is on the plan right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I guess we'll find out. Is this workforce? Do we know what type of development this is supposed to be? The intended resident?
My understanding was that it was market rate, but the applicant can confirm that.
I think that came up during the ZBA meeting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, that it was supposed to be market rate?
Yeah.
that's my understanding, but they can confirm.
Okay. All right. Guess we shall hear what they have to say tomorrow. Any other questions from anyone else in regards to this application that will be before us tomorrow?
I have no questions at this time. We'll discuss it tomorrow.
No questions.
Okay. All right, so let's see. 318 South 8th Avenue. Okay, can you... Okay, so this was the Greater Centennial. All right. Got it.
Again, previously approved by the ZBA, they're requesting a site plan to construct the proposed community center. They had an earlier development around like 15 years ago that was partially completed, but now they're going back to kind of reconstruct the building.
Right. What didn't they have to, I guess they started, but then they had to take down whatever was built? Is
My
that accurate?
understanding was they're taking down and then replacing it with this new
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they took a first try at it, in the mid 2000s, but then it was the fiscal crisis, the economic crisis that derailed it.
Okay.
You'll notice that there were about over 20 objection forms that have come in. There will be people coming to the meeting tomorrow who are going to talk about damage that has been done to their homes because of the excavation that was done on the first round of construction that was done 20 years ago. The current application involves utilizing that existing foundation to build a prefabricated building on top of it. So our understanding is that those impacts that those residents did experience won't be duplicated again with this application. That's our understanding. But the applicant can explain that.
Okay, so you're saying that that the damage that was previously sustained would not be duplicated again with the way that it's going to be constructed now.
Correct. Right. When this application came before the zoning board, we had a lot of people show up in the community. And one person said, like, oh, I have these cracks in my wall. And those cracks were started, they showed up when they were digging the foundation for the church, like this community center 20 years ago. So the applicant got up and responded and said, yes, we were building that foundation at the time. That's the only part of the original building that we're actually keeping. So you shouldn't expect any more, vibrations or, excavation to occur with this project. We're simply constructing a prefabricated building over that foundation.
Right. Do we know whether or not the construction at that time, do we have documented evidence, showing some of the concerns, and if so, were they ever addressed by the applicant in terms of helping to cure, the issue?
Yeah, that's a good question. That we didn't look into that with that last meeting with the zoning board.
Okay.
But I suspect this time around, just based off the volume of objection forms we received and how detailed some of them were in their comments, My expectation is that those who appeared before the zoning board a month ago are now much more organized. And so I would expect you're gonna hear all about it at the meeting. It sounds to me like they're gonna be showing up with a lot of information to give you.
Okay, so when they went before the ZBA, did they have pictures? Did they have video? Did they have anything showing any of the issues
No.
that they're complaining about?
No, it was just verbal statements.
Okay.
But that's why I'm thinking like we didn't really get objection forms for the zoning board meeting, but now we've gotten over 20. So
Okay.
that's why I'm thinking that there might be a sizable crowd in attendance, and they might perhaps bring such evidence this time around, would be my guess.
Okay. And with that statement that you just made, are we going to be we're in the city council chambers tomorrow, so we can accommodate a large group?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay, all right. Maria, do you know for certain that that's where we're going to be? Because if it's going to be held in one of the other,
Oh, no, I made sure it was in the city council chambers, so we're definitely there.
okay, all right, good, okay.
Mr. Chair, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So Lucas, we're basically using the same footprint, the same foundation that was there?
That's my understanding, but the applicant will go over this with you.
Okay, so we also have to make sure that that foundation is structurally sound still, since it's been what, 20 years or 15 years sitting there, you know?
Right. These are excellent questions to ask.
Okay.
Thank you, excellent question. Look forward to hearing it tomorrow.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question?
You can ask as many as you'd like.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Lucas, did you receive any letters from any of the other applications, or just this particular one in depth?
You mean consent or objection forms for other
Correct.
applications?
Yes.
Okay, yes, we did receive a bunch of consent forms
Mm-hmm.
for 230 East Sanford Boulevard.
Okay.
And also just FYI for 68 Mount Vernon Avenue, this board has not received any forms one way or the other, but the zoning board, when they reviewed it, they received several consent forms.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any further questions? Okay, all right, so let's go to, we do have a full agenda, all right. So that's the 230 East Sanford Boulevard.
The last one now. Yeah, so this is the site plan to re-tenant the existing Stop and Shop supermarket on Sanford Boulevard into a Florin Decor retail store. The changes they're actually making to like the building and to the surrounding property are pretty minor. They're mostly just making minor alterations to the parking area. They're adding like customer pickup spots. They're obviously going to change like the way the facade, as the ARB would eventually review, they're going to change the facade a little bit. But other than that, it's what's there is largely staying intact, at least from like a site plan perspective.
All right.
And
So
just-
the Floor and Decor retail store, do we know who they're thinking about as a tenant there?
No, Floor and Decor would be the tenant.
Oh, that's the name of okay, Floor and Decor.
Yeah, it's a chain of flooring stores.
Okay,
I
Wow.
think, yeah.
I'm not familiar with it. All right.
I'm pretty,
Yeah, I think they have one in Portchester they just put up.
Right.
And they have one in Jersey.
Yeah, a lot in New Jersey. Our
Mhm.
deputy
A lot in
commissioner is familiar with them. He's remodeling his house, so he says he goes there all the time.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a pretty large footprint. So, all right, interesting. All right.
Oh, and just so you know, the staff did meet with them just to go over their site plan, and just so you're aware, we did ask them to make changes with respect to the site, the sidewalk access, and they did that.
Okay.
So they worked with us a lot already.
What about signage, Lucas? Because it's kind of set back, you know?
Yeah,
You really
right.
don't know what's there unless you know.
Right. You know, I mean, that would be discussed in depth, with the ARB, of course, but, you know, Will, did they have the signage in the plans or is it just, I don't remember.
Hang on, I'll pull up the elevation.
I was mostly focused on the sidewalks.
1 second.
But also this matter, we did refer it to the county planning board, and they've just issued their opinion today. So that referral is finished.
Okay. On a separate, unrelated, but somewhat related note, has anyone come to planning at all in regards to possibility of putting in a supermarket at all? Because you know now we really are somewhat of a food desert.
Right.
We really don't have that many areas where you know the residents can shop.
Right. My understanding, and I might not be fully correct about this, but my understanding is that Stop and Shop still owns this building. And they're hesitant to, I guess, rent it out to another supermarket. But they are willing to rent it out to Floor and Decor.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope at some point in time that somebody will come in and address the need, you know, to you know, have a supermarket for the residents within the city. I think it's definitely something that's needed, and I'm sad to see that you know we don't have many food options at this time.
So Lucas made a comment that Stop and Shop still owns the building.
Mhm.
They're hesitant to put another store. What is that? I mean, what does that mean? What does that say? It's not a positive thing. Not picking on you, Lucas. I'm just saying, you know, the reality is that's what it is.
Right.
Right. Right. I mean,
We don't have a car dealership. I mean, you want to talk about food. I mean, we need a lot of stuff.
yeah.
Let me,
Yeah, but I know, but I'm just thinking like the bare necessities. I mean, food is something you know that everybody needs on a daily basis.
Although I will say, from a tax receivables benefit perspective, Floor and Decor, almost everything is taxable.
Right.
Whereas the supermarket, food and certain beverages are not taxed. But I think everything.
I'm just really thinking more so about you know about the kids and the elderly and things of that nature. You know, especially you know our senior population that you know now has to you know I guess probably travel a distance to get food. That's really my main concern.
I
So
agree. I agree.
okay, so all right. Well, we have a long agenda tomorrow, so everybody get some rest. And I'm sure that Maria is great with always making sure that we have water so we don't pass out. But
Oh, I wish I could provide food too, but
Mr. Chairman, could I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
Would you be amenable to perhaps consider changing the order slightly of the agenda? We put these in order received, but given that some might be shorter than others, we were just wondering what you might
I
what you think about that.
would certainly be open to changing the sequence for the agenda. So we can go through it right now. I'm going to say probably, I mean, the application by Greater Centennial and the one that was at 896 South Columbus, you know, I think that we're probably going to have a fairly large turnout for those. And from a timing perspective, I don't think that they're going to last as long as the East Prospect one, which I think should be, you know, probably the longest one on the list.
Would you be willing to put, this request comes from Commissioner Rouse, but, would you be willing to put, 230 East Sanford Boulevard on after East Prospect Avenue, since those are the two big projects that he.
That would be fine.
Okay,
Yep, absolutely. That would be fine.
okay, thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep. I just ask that, tomorrow when we get the agendas that it's reflective. So when I'm looking at it and going over that, I have the proper sequence.
Okay,
Yes, I'll update the agenda and resend it out and have hard copies there as well.
That would be great.
Mhm.
I would greatly appreciate it.
so did you want to, tell us one last time, how the order that you want?
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, having the 230 East Sanford, Boulevard after East Prospect
Okay,
is fine.
Okay.
I think that the other ones, if you wouldn't mind, Will, could you just scroll back to the beginning of the agenda, if you don't mind? Thank you. Okay. All right. Yeah, so that's fine because we don't have to do anything. 3.1. That's just an administrative item. So let's see, the permanent regulation, indoor amusement. I don't think that's okay. That's easy enough. Concept plan. The concept plan, how long do you think the concept plans will probably be, Lucas?
it just depends how much discussion you want to have. I can probably rattle through the slides in 7 or 8 minutes.
Okay, all right. So we'll keep that the way that it is. 896. We'll keep that in its position. Right after 896. I think that we probably should have 896. I was going to say no, because they're kind of larger also. I guess it's the Centennial right after 896.
You want to do Centennial after 896?
Yeah,
So
I'm just trying to think of the crowd and the amount of people that are going to be coming in also. Yeah, this is a very, it's a long agenda because, either.
So Lucas, you were saying after 896, you wanted us to go over.
I mean, I would
Sanford?
recommend, do 896 first, then do 140 East Prospect, then do
All right, so okay,
230, and then
we can do
the
that,
rest.
and then if we leave that means okay. So, all right, I mean they're going to be there for a long time. All right, so maybe if there's, yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean it is what it is. I mean they're all kind of large.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I guess we'll put the Centennial as the last one after Sanford.
Okay. And then as you want 6-8
Oh,
Mount
oh,
Vernon
actually, you know
Avenue?
what? No. Actually, you know what? Let's have the Mount Vernon Avenue be the last one. Have
Okay.
the Centennial before that one.
All right, so we'll do that last, and then but we'll do of the new ones, we'll do 230 East Sanford first, 318 South 8th second,
Yep,
and then 6-8 Mount Vernon Avenue third. last.
correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else that we need to discuss this evening? I take that as no.
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay. All right. So be on the lookout for the minutes. I'm going to ask Nkechi if you wouldn't mind just putting your edits in as soon as you get the minutes also.
Right. Well, Chair Celso, we agreed that we were
Oh,
going
I'm
to
sorry.
table them to.
Yes, we did. Thank you. See, that's what happens. That's what happens. We get old. Okay.
But you will get all the other attachments.
We are tabling. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. You were very quick on that, Marie. You're like, no. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So with that said, thank you guys for your time this evening, and I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow.